Welcome to the Confident Host podcast with me, Kay Gibbs. If you're a holiday let host or co-host looking for more bookings, more efficiencies, and to get ahead, then you are in the right place. Each episode brings you practical tips, real stories, and expert advice. On today's episode, I'm welcoming Nikki, the owner of Brechfa Forest Barns, who is going to share with us what a totally dog-friendly host would tell us if she weren't afraid of hurting our feelings, all about how she's achieved 100% direct bookings by fully leaning into her niche. So let's get started. Today, we welcome Nikki from Brechfa Forest Barns to the podcast, and I am super excited about this one because Nikki has so much to offer us hosts in terms of focusing on our ideal guests and just doing a really brilliant job. First up, Nikki, the important thing, you've got your cuppa. What are you drinking today?
I have my cuppa, Kay. Thanks for having me on. This is Clipper tea with almond milk. My husband's a bit of a tea snob, so Clipper tea it is. I can't tell the difference. Almond milk because I'm watching the calories at the moment. It's very nice too.
Nice choice. I love Clipper. First up, tell us a little bit about you and your business if people haven't found you on Facebook. And the first thing I would say is they absolutely need to find you on Facebook and Instagram if they haven't already. Tell us a bit about, your background and your business.
I'm Nikki. My husband and I are owners of Brechfa Forest Barns. They are 3 award-winning, truly dog-friendly holiday cottages in the heart of Carmarthenshire. We've spent over 16 years fine-tuning the spaces so that dogs and humans feel genuinely welcome, not just tolerated. Our target market is couples who want peace, comfort, and the freedom to bring all of their dogs without the restrictions that some cottage owners put in place. We don't ask the breed and we deliver everything they need and hopefully some more.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it. The reason I've asked Nikki to come on today to sort of share that story with us and share her expertise with us is we've come across each other on social media a little bit. More recently, your business is actually up for sale and your property's up for sale. And we can come on to some details about that later because I'm sure people will be interested in that. But the thing that has struck me is your social media is so successful. You have an enormous following. I looked yesterday and your Facebook's 29,000 people, incredible reviews. And it's that leaning totally in to your niche, isn't it? It's that's what really I think you can bring to this conversation today. Yours is being totally dog friendly, but actually all of us with different niches can learn from that, I think. So I'm really keen to hear all about that.
Yes, I think niche is the word here. And in fact, probably ultra niche. We came here knowing what we wanted to do because we had to create a business that worked for us. And so we started by asking the question, what would make us happy? Jay had a completely different set of wants and desires that involved mountain biking and things. But my desires and his too, to a degree, were dogs and food. So we decided to, in our naivety, try and create a business that ticked all of those boxes. And the reason why we thought it would work is because we really were the sort of people we try to attract and do attract. Now we were those people, we were the guests that we seek to attract, i.e. people with, well, we've only got 2 dogs now, but at one point we had 3. If you go on holiday with friends that have also got 2 dogs, you try 16 years ago, you try and find a multitude of cottages to choose from that will allow 4 dogs and give you the freedom that they have at home. So I felt quite sure that we weren't in the minority, and rather naively we set out to do that, but fortunately it really worked.
I think so many of us in hospitality are sort of accidentally go into something and naively go into something. They think this will be a good idea. And what you've done is just absolutely carry that off. And you were absolutely right on your instinct that would work. I think you've got marketing experience before. So did that lead you to kind of know that niching was a good idea?
The marketing experience I've got now is basically from running this business and learning on the job. The experience I had before has helped. It was event management, it was graphics, it was advertising, sales and promotion, but I hadn't specifically done very much marketing, but I suppose I had a leaning towards it. It sort of runs in the family. But no, I had absolutely no experience whatsoever, and I didn't even know what Facebook was when we moved here. So I was winging it from day one, to be honest. But we had no money, so social media back then was the only form of marketing that we could afford to do, and I had to learn very quickly, which 16 years isn't exactly quick, but it took off from the word go. We couldn't afford to have agents. There wasn't online travel agents, OTAs. There wasn't an Airbnb then. So pay an agent or learn to do it myself. So I kind of ate, slept and breathed it. I love it. I love the business.
And Facebook continues to be your best avenue. So we'll come back to that in a moment. So the theme today is what a totally dog-friendly host would tell you if they weren't afraid of hurting your feelings. And that's this whole podcast series is about being really brutally honest with each other and saying, look, this is what you're missing. So when you think about why your business works, as opposed to perhaps what some of us are getting wrong when we're not leaning fully into our niche and we're not thinking fully about our ideal guest, what is it that you do that works better? Let's be honest, better.
Well, I can only say this in hindsight now, but what we did from the word go was Jay had his business idea here and I had mine here, and we kept them totally separate, which I suppose in a way is homing in on the niche. Rather than try to be something for everything, our mountain biking business is still called Mudtrek Mountain Bike Breaks, and that had a separate website, separate social medias. Brechfa Forest Barns, we did exactly the same, totally separate, actually running both businesses on the same 3 cottages and juggling the bookings, so to speak.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you know, Nikki, that's so well done. I didn't even realise that was the same. I've seen both businesses, but I didn't appreciate that how closely they work together. That makes so much sense.
We muddled along very successfully for many years with both, and we both really enjoyed what we did. But the reason why we have not stopped Mudtrek to concentrate on Brechfa Forest Barns is because we're selling and we wanted to show that it can stand on its own 2 feet. And I knew that it was, because anytime I had a gap that we put aside for Mudtrek and opened it up to Brechfa Forest Barns, it would just sell like that. So
yeah,
that's what we've done now to show it's a really profitable, lovely, successful lifestyle business.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what makes it work? If I'm someone with a dog and I come to Brechfa Forest Barns, what is it that's so special?
I think from the word go, if you're talking the language of people like myself, then first of all, you're going to hit it off with them. We have got a massive target audience because of social media, but we all know that the algorithms are changing now. So whilst I might have 35,000 people watching us, we haven't really got 35,000.
No.
Us. So, but the first thing I will do is always have the voice that I want to speak to those people in. And basically it's me, because I feel like I'm appealing to me. If I'm in alignment with the people that we attract, that seems to tick the box. They know I'm dotty about dogs. I am seeking to appeal to those, and I want them to know that they're welcome. All of their dogs are welcome. We don't have loads of silly rules. In fact, we don't have any silly rules at all. Hopefully they're respectful of us, and I make sure that people know that, you know, there is a charge for dogs. We've never said free dogs. That, you know, you have to realise that there is a cost. Some people say dogs come free. That's entirely fine. For us, I'd rather be completely transparent, and I think that helps as well when you explain your transparency. You know, they might say, my dogs never leave a mess. That's your dogs. We're entertaining God knows how many over 3 cottages, 365 days of the year. Not everybody's like that. So we charge a very small fee, £15 per dog per stay. So it could be for 2 weeks. And that just helps make sure our cleaners are happy. They get a little bit extra for the extra work they have to put in. And if there isn't any extra work to be put in, then it means that we can replace things in the dog park.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know you charged for dogs, and I thought that might be something you told us not to do. But that's really interesting that if we're honest as hosts about whatever our niche is and whatever our product is, it works. Lean into that being honest thing.
That's what I mean about being in alignment. So if you are talking to people like you, there's a good chance they're going to connect with you anyway. If you're speaking their language, they're going to connect with you. If you have certain things in common, i.e. dogs, they're going to connect with you. If they suddenly realise that, oh my God, this is a person after my own heart, they realise they're showing pictures of dogs on sofas. They're even allowing guests to bring their own bedding, because let's face it, quite a lot of us, every now and then, sometimes every night, not me, but sometimes every now and again, I want my dogs to come up on the bed for a cuddle. Well, that's fine, but obviously we're trying to run a cottage, so that's a lot of work. And we just say to people, if you want your dogs to come on the bed, let us know and bring your own bed linen.
Yeah.
So we're making it possible for them. We're letting them know. We're saying to them, if you want to bring another dog, if you adopt another dog a week before, just let us know.
That openness is key, I think. I think that openness is key in our business, whatever we're talking about, isn't it? Making it open. So that's the sort of philosophical approach that you have that makes it work, that alignment. I love that word. What makes it work on the ground? So I know you'll take unlimited dogs, for example. What are the other things that you do that make you, are you your unique selling point, really?
Okay, so I think when we first started 16 years ago, it was enough to just shout about being dog friendly. That was enough. We were booked up 18 months in advance in the first cottage that we opened up.
Wow.
18 months back to back with no experience. I didn't even have a picture of the accommodation because we hadn't finished it yet. I just put the message out there that we were totally dog friendly and what that meant. Bang, bang, bang. The bookings came in, probably had underpriced it because I didn't have any experience, but nevertheless, we were off the ground with no money in the bank, and that was really important. So that's brilliant. But over the years, obviously, lots and lots of marketing. Basically, my marketing is just showing people what goes on here.
Yeah.
Showing people, and I don't really try to sell too much. Every now and then there's a post that says we've got, like we have at the moment, next weekend's half price because we haven't sold it or we've had a cancellation. But mostly it's just guest dogs, my dogs, running around on the beach, having a lovely time, telling them a bit about the local pub that's dog friendly, walks that are dog friendly, telling them about the activities you can do with your kids that you can take your dogs on and everything. That's what our social media is about. It's about informing them what's happening here. It's not selling. Every time there's a sales, it's almost like a drip feed. But on the ground, unlimited dogs, no breed restrictions. I don't even ask what breed they are. And if people want to know what breeds are in the cottage next door, I'll simply tell them unapologetically, I don't know because it's not important to me. They have their own private space. And I won't apologise for that because I think every owner that owns a dog and loves a dog deserves to take that dog away with them and give them the holiday. They don't know what breed they are. Okay, providing with the realms of the law, obviously. And yes, we do take XL bullies, providing that, all the rules are ticked, but they can have their muzzles off in the dog park because we tick all the boxes for that as well. So it's about making it easy for people. And when I say ultra niche, we've gone from being dog friendly to being ultra dog friendly by having an environment whereby rescue dogs feel safe here. Not just rescue dogs, but lots of dogs have issues. But lots of rescue dogs have issues because we don't know what they've gone through before. And having a space whereby their owners are calm because they're relaxed, and having the surrounding space of the countryside that's very quiet means that a lot of people love to bring rescue dogs here. So that's ultra niche. And then more recently, even more ultra niche is the XL bully thing because there aren't so many people saying, yes, they're welcome.
So I can hear how well suited Brechfa Forest Barns is to dog owners. And it sounds like you've really thought about the detail, and that you mentioned secure gardens that allow you to be friendly to all dogs, including the XL bullies. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, okay. So we're an acre plot, but each cottage has its own space, outside space that's fully secure. Not only are they secure, but they have, or two of them have, stock fencing. It's actually deer fencing. And the reason why we put deer fencing in is because it has smaller holes at the bottom, whereas stock fencing is the same size holes all the way up. And that means, for example, that a little Dachshund or a Chihuahua or a small breed like that can't escape. So when we say enclosed, we mean fully enclosed. I try not to use the word secure because if somebody leaves the gate open, it's not secure. So I used fully enclosed, and we tell them the fence height. Some people want 6 foot. We've only got 5 foot. But Central Park, our dog park, is 6 foot. So we just make sure that everything that we can is put the information so they can make a considered choice about whether this is right for them. For example, we don't have fully boarded gardens because we have an exceptional view, and that is part of the appeal of people that want to see the rolling countryside and nothing after them. So that is our compromise, and if people need it to be boarded up so their dogs can't see another, that's not going to suit them. That's okay. There'll be a property that does, but if you've got that, shout about it.
What's really striking me in this conversation, Nikki, is as someone who doesn't own dogs and is actually allergic to dogs, as we've chatted about before, I just hadn't even considered those things. And like you say, it's so important to, well, not important to, but it's so optimal. It's optimal if you can really align with those guests, speak their language, so that if someone is coming to you looking for a boarded garden, you first of all, you know what they're talking about and you can explain why. And, it's being in that zone, isn't it? And having that awareness of the needs, even if your property doesn't specifically meet those needs, it's knowing what they are so you know what you can and can't offer people. I just think that really comes across.
Yeah, and it's important to just say, actually, tell me what it is with you. What are you trying to achieve for you and your dog on your holiday? They're worried about being next door because the Baytree barn and the hay barn are semi-detached. If that's of any concern with them at all, first of all, I would say, right, before you make a decision, check our TripAdvisor reviews because there's hundreds and hundreds of them. And some of them in there will have had the same issues as you and might put your mind at rest.
Yeah.
I will not take a booking from them. I'll say, I think you need to look elsewhere. In fact, let me help you find somewhere else, because I know so many other people that tick the boxes that we do. And I think that's appreciated, because they realise that I'm not just after their booking. You know, they have to have a great holiday. That's what it's about. I want my guests to go home having had a brilliant holiday, because then they'll tell somebody else, then they'll write a wonderful review, and then they'll come back, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's time for an ad, but the ad is actually from me. I'm here to tell you about Airbnb Accelerator, or ABBA for short, and I'm asking you to take a chance on me, see what I did there, and join me for Airbnb Accelerator in January. Now, depending on when you're listening to this, when you go to www.kgibbs.com/ABBA, you will either come up with a sign-up sheet so that you can get on the early birds list, or you'll have a full page of info that you can actually buy and get on board. It's for you if you've been listed for a little bit and you feel like it's time to optimize your listing. Maybe you've lost momentum. Maybe you go on there and make changes and you just don't really know why you're making them and what you're doing. We're going to give you purpose. We're going to give you confidence. We're going to take every element of your listing and upgrade it, not just now when we do it, but so that you'll know what to do going forward too, and you'll understand why you're doing it. My coaching groups are transformative. And you will not only gain confidence, but bookings. And once your first one's in, you've covered the investment. Airbnb Accelerator. You bring the listing, I'll bring the plan.
So let's get back to the theme then. If you weren't afraid to hurt our feelings, Nikki, what would you say you notice in other people's adverts, listings, when they say they're dog friendly, but you're thinking, nah, that's not really dog friendly?
Sometimes I see listings where right at the bottom it says dogs accepted. I mean, I don't think anybody is silly enough to put dog tolerant. People use dog friendly, and I think there's a difference between truly dog welcoming and dog friendly or dog tolerant. And I think anybody that is in the same niche market as us will be putting the priorities for the dog and the dog owner right at the top of their post and their listing, and their website will massively reflect that, like ours does, I hope. It's all about the dogs. Oh, and as an aside, here's some luxuries for the humans, like the hot tub,
Sure.
etc., and lovely views and everything on, and meals delivered and stuff like that. So we try, but ultimately it's about the dogs, and then there's something for the humans as well. Put their dogs first. So I'm going to put their dogs first. I would put my dogs first. Yeah. But that's what I would make of it. And some of the things I see, for example, on Facebook posts, is that one dog only. 2 small dogs. Ask for more dogs. Ask if you've got more dogs. Yeah, I do understand that certain cottages aren't big enough for lots of dogs, but be open to have the conversation rather than just saying, no, definitely not.
I think that applies to every niche. That if you see a Facebook post or a bit on a website or on a listing, anything that just makes it a little bit difficult, just creates that friction. It's about making it as easy as possible for those ideal guests to see this is exactly right for you. This is for you. I think that just is the case, whatever your niche.
Yeah. So, for example, it says small breeds only. It's like, well, what am I going to do with my Great Dane? Leave him at home? That's not what we're about. I mean, obviously, everybody will have their own situations. And I would say if you've got cream carpet, don't have cream carpet, basically. If to be in the dog friendly niche, make it truly dog friendly. Because if somebody has to answer questions, would it be okay? Or, oh my God, my dog's put a muddy paw print on the cream carpet. What am I going to do? They're not going to relax. Make it so that both of you are relaxed doing it. But so do it wholeheartedly is what I would say.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Whatever the niche is, go all in on it.
Throw all in. So dog-friendly garden that isn't actually secure, it's a massive fail. It's like, tell them how secure it is, show them how secure it is. Highlight your reviews that say they were really happy because their dog definitely couldn't escape, or it was so tall that they couldn't jump over. Make a real song and dance about all the selling USP. What are your USPs? Flaunt them, basically.
Yeah, I love that. Flaunt them.
Dog owners are not. If their dogs are on a sofa at home, and I don't know very many people who keep that. I've got one friend who keeps her dogs on the floor, and I'm like, really? Then give them throws. Give them throws to use. Make them feel it's welcome. And then that's their dogs on the throws on your sofa. Have some sofas that you can wipe down. This is all, I think, fairly standard stuff. Or give them the opportunity. Don't say no dogs on the bed. This is just my point of view. Say no dogs on the bed unless you'd like to bring your own bed linen. Well, that's a win-win, because people know that then they're allowed to take their dogs in the bed and they bring their own bed linen. So that's less laundry for me.
Yeah. And they feel relaxed. I've just thought of something, Nikki. Do you think that having that small but relevant charge for dogs helps people relax because they think, look, we've paid that 15 quid. So if he does put a paw mark on the wall, we're covered. Do you think that actually helps people?
It's not really what it's like, because I don't think that's why we put it into place. What we put it into place to focus people's attention, really, that there is a cost to everything. Why would grandma go free?
Yeah.
It
It highlights that they're a member of the family, doesn't it?
member of the family, and there's a cost to everything. Basically, it's only a small cost. We're not trying to rip anybody off, but £15 for a dog for a 2-week stay. I mean, it's gonna cost us that to have the gardener in to repair the holes. Everything has a cost, and let's be realistic and transparent about it. I'm not knocking people that say free dogs. I'm sure that they will soak up that cost themselves, but it is in there somewhat. It is in there.
You've just mentioned the dog park, and I realise we haven't really talked about that properly. Tell us about, you put Central Bark, is it called? I love that.
Central Bark. It was a lockdown project. We had we're on an acre plot, and we had about about a third of an acre of it was just disused. And I was trying to think of what we definitely didn't want any more accommodation. 3 is enough for us to manage ourselves. And I thought, well, if we ever need to sell, which incidentally we are, and we weren't thinking about it would be nice if that was tidied up. So Jay started tidying it up, and then I saw an article on the Dogs and Cats Home Rescue that created a sensory garden with playthings in, and thought, oh my God, why don't we do that? And if we use recycled stuff, that won't cost us anything, because we were not in a good place in lockdown, as I'm sure a lot of people were. Basically, it was all as flat as it could be. And then we started talking to local farmers. Did they have any tractor tyres? And that kind of thing. And we thought, what can we do with all these tyres? With extra mud, we put some grass seed down, and then we came up with some crazy ideas about having a swing there, and I picked up an unwanted slide, and put it on top of Tyre Mountain. We made a tunnel. Jay created a splash pond.
Oh, wow.
And it's just a place where they can do whatever they want. They can dig, they can run, it's secure, it's got the stop fencing, as I said. It's got 6 foot. So we've had huskies in there that have never been let off the lead. It's been beagle tested. And it has actually become the reason why a lot of people come to us.
Sorry, my cat has just interrupted us. All that dog chat, too much for you, Bert. I'm a massive cat lover, as you can see. My 2, you said a bit about, sometimes let them sleep on the bed. My 2 cats sleep on my face if they can. Sorry, you were cut off mid-flow by him going there.
I was just about to say the fact that it's actually become our biggest unique selling point. I know that people want to know constantly, do we have to book it? No, you don't have to book it, because there's only 3 cottages on site, and we simply ask if somebody's in there and you're approaching them, come back later, or shout, is your dog open to playing with other dogs? Some dogs will be, others need their own space. So they know that they can use it exclusively, and that it's only shared with another 2 cottages, with those people, or totally separate. And those people with dogs with anxiety or fear reactive dogs, or XL bullies, if they need their own space, or any breed that needs their own space for any reason, they can have that themselves. So as well as their own space outside their property that's totally enclosed, they have use of Central Bark. And there's plenty of room for zoomies and chucking balls around in there. So yeah, it seems to go down an absolute storm. And you've probably seen from social media the number of pictures that guests send us of their dogs with massive smiles on their face. If dogs can smile. And I think that's a massive sales point. Without us, we didn't even realise. We just having that space, not doing something with it. So yeah, that's a big hit.
Fantastic. You mentioned earlier about social media and not overtly selling there all the time. And you just said about there being posts about Central Bark. And I just wanted to come back to that, because I always talk to people about that in terms of their marketing, particularly with social media, that actually we do sell through stories. And when you look at your social media, you absolutely are selling, but not by saying we've got these nights and it's this much money all the time. You're selling the story, you're selling the experience. And I just kind of wanted the listener to know that, that story is what sells. It's personal. You tell stories about individual guests, both canine and human, who've come and had a really great time. You share their pictures on social media, and it's that sales of that experience. We talk about that a lot in Facebook Fix, the coaching program that I do, that we can get caught up in thinking we have to say about nights and about rates and so on, when actually the story is always the thing that sells. And I just think your social media is a model of that, really. How do you engage your past guests and hopefully future guests in that? And how has it been so successful for you?
It was easier to pull people across from Facebook groups to our own social media page, which was key over the years. But now, with the way that Facebook and Instagram work, that's harder to do. The reach is smaller. So I have to think very carefully about how I engage our current followers and the new ones and hook them in, so to speak, without selling to them. But I think that the pictures and the stories do that for us, because again, I'm showing that we are appealing to like-minded people, and that people are willingly giving me their photographs. They now know, they realise they're waiting for the next set of stories from the next set of doggy guests and waiting to comment on them. They know that being interactive helps me as a small business owner. They know that I'm always going to comment after they said, oh, look at them, and I'll say, aren't they gorgeous or something. So knowing about the key points about how social media works, but not actively selling to them. And what I try to do now, which has worked in our favour, is we all know that email marketing is very, very important. We don't really have a hold on our social media. It could go down at any point for any reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it terrifies me. And I wish I'd done this sooner, but I'm on it now. The email list, I pull people in, and they know that I will only send them an email once or twice a month. And although there might be new things on it, like 2026 diarrhea is open, or a new hot tub with dog enclosure on it, that kind of thing, they will always be our last minute deals. And only the members of our only the people that are signed up to our mailing list will get those first. I only post them on social media second.
Clever.
So I've got a lot of people that book in advance because they want the certain cottage at a certain time of year. And then I've got the people that wait for the last minute deals because they're within their budget and they've got flexibility. That closes the last minute gaps up usually as well. For example, I've got one left this weekend, and I'm determined to sell it.
I'm sure you will. So you don't actually market on any of the OTAs. Your social media is your platform, obviously directing people to your website, and then your returning guests go directly to your website, and then that email marketing. So you said you wish you'd done that sooner. How long have you been doing email marketing?
I have been doing it for ages, but I haven't realised the value of it until a couple of years ago. So now I make a point of importing all the people that allow us to, obviously through GDPR, those email addresses from our bookings into the database, and then they will get the email once a month or whatever. They can unsubscribe if, obviously, like anybody can, but that means the crux of it is going out to the people that are really, really interested in it. So I don't mind if our email list goes down a little bit, because it usually comes down and up and down, and you're just kind of niching the people. And usually when I send out that email, and it might have, I don't know, I send it out usually towards the back end of the month. The next month, I'm trying to fill a few gaps, and I do good discounts as well. I don't mess about. There's no £25 off here. They're, I know, half price usually, because they're that late. People are booking later.
Yeah.
So I'm sending it out later, basically, and that seems to work really well.
Brilliant. So and I think when I work with clients, a lot of people are nervous about doing email lists, a bit shy about it, not sure what to include. And it's just so powerful. Like you say, I use social media for this business massively, but without my email list, I would feel wobbly. It's the bit that I own, and no one can take the email list away from me. And also, like you say, unsubscribes are a positive, because those people that unsubscribe from your list, they weren't your target guest in the end anyway.
We're diluting it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so when I look at your Facebook page particularly, you have hundreds of reviews. And something that really struck me, Nikki, was loads of them have pictures, more than I've seen on anybody else's as a proportion. Almost all of them actually have photos as part of the reviews. And I think that's so powerful, because it shows people who visit your profile exactly who you're aiming at, and they can see that's them, and so they go ahead to book. How do you get people to put how do you get them to review, and how do you get them to include those photos?
I ask them. and make it easy for them again. So the first thing that people get when they arrive, once they've checked in via WhatsApp, because we leave people alone unless they want to see us, obviously. So they check in via WhatsApp these days. And the first thing they do is they get a copy and paste, which I will personalise. Welcome, Ted, Sandy and Bonzo or whatever.
Yeah.
I hope you have a wonderful time. Here's what you need to know. And there's a link to the digital guidebook, which has got everything doggy related that they could ever want to know. Just so that you know, here's a link to if you haven't read it already, because they would have gotten that previously. If there's anything you want to know whilst you're here, I'm just a message away. We would love to see pictures of you enjoying your holiday. Please feel free to WhatsApp them to us. Now, the reason why people seem to do that now is because they can see other people getting theirs published on our, I think anyway. So I get more and more, and then sometimes they'll tag us on Instagram and I'll say, oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for tagging us. Could you WhatsApp me that picture or that video? Is it okay for me to use it? So I'm just constantly asking. And I think they quite like the idea that their content wants to be used. Their dogs to be seen having a lovely time. And then again, if I've not had anything from them, I obviously won't hassle them anymore. But on the checkout, thank you so much. I hope you've had a lovely time. If you've got any nice pictures of your dogs, please leave a review. And I give links to everything. So all they have to do is click on them. And then very finally, there's an email that goes when I return their security deposit saying thank you very much. And we'd love it if, we're a small business. If you'd like to help us out, if you had a lovely stay and like to help us out, please leave us a review. P.S. Do you know you can leave your wonderful pictures on that as well?
I see. You said at the beginning then, Nikki, I just asked them, but actually what you've just described is a really thorough, well thought through, personalised routine. It's a follow-up routine, and that's what's powerful. So you've actually ended up engaging with them several times, naming them personally. I find too, WhatsApp is a really powerful tool because it's personal by nature, isn't it? It's friendly. So it can make things really personal. And I can see how that would be effective for getting reviews. I think if we're just sending an email a week after their stay, having not fully engaged with them, it's cold. Whereas what you're doing is keeping that communication warm. Okay, so we've heard so much about what's made Brechfa so successful for you, but there's new plans. Tell us about the future for the Barns and the future for you and Jay.
Well, Jay got his Irish passport, which wasn't a given. And when it came through, it opened up many doors, many possibilities for us.
Ah, of course. The post-Brexit world.
Yeah, so we hadn't considered, but then we were able to consider. If I could pick this business up and take it with me, absolutely would, but that isn't possible. So we're going to be doing fully catered guided mountain bike breaks over there in the Costa del Sol, and we're looking for properties now. And I have a little venture as well that I'm hoping to do, which would be creative and cooking holidays. Obviously the beagles will be coming with us, so it will be dog focused in as much that my dogs will be there.
What an exciting future going forward for you. We are going to share your links. So wherever you're listening to this podcast, you'll be able to find Nikki's links because you've got a new social media profile where we can follow your Andalusia progress, can't we?
Yes. So we've got, as well as the links to Brechfa Forest Barns, there is a Facebook page just for people that want to follow us. There is a chance we will be on telly again. We were on Escape to the Country as well some years ago, and that was incredibly effective marketing right up until today. It still helps us sell.
Oh, wow.
There's a TV company that are looking into following our journey over there and setting up. So if you want to follow our journey, it's called Escape to Andalusia.
Love that. Nikki, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for your words of wisdom, your massive enthusiasm for the business that we all do, and especially making it dog friendly, and for the opportunity for everyone to go and have a good old nose on your social media and really see how it's done. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on, Kay.
Thanks for listening to the Confident Host podcast with me, Kay Gibbs. You can find more episodes wherever you normally get your podcasts and on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, follow, and share away with fellow hosts. You can also follow me on Facebook, where I can usually be found, and also on Instagram for lots more tips and discussion. And if you would like to take your hosting journey further, join me in Confident Host Circle, my membership that brings you consistency, confidence, and community while you grow your business. Next time, I'll be flying solo and talking Airbnb listings and 5 tips and some myth busting, all about how to get your listing working optimally for you. See you next time.